All right, morning everybody. Yeah. All right, let's get started. Um, all right, so we had a major sell-off in the US on Friday, down 1.6%. If we had a look at the FTSE and the DAX, they all sold off heavily from our close. I think the FTSE was down probably 1.3% from 5 o'clock our time, which is quite a hectic sell-off right at the end of the day. The DAX as well, the whole of Europe pretty much. Um, In economic data out of the US, we had consumer confidence, which rose more than expected, but wholesale prices fell more than forecast. And in stock-specific news, Adobe Systems bucked the trend by rising almost 10% after announcing sales that beat estimates. Asia this morning actually hasn't panicked too much. We got Hang Seng, which is down just over 1%, Nikkei just over 1.5% down, but the rest, Aussie just under, just over 0.5% down, Kospi and Shanghai down about 0.25%, so not too bad. What's going on here? Let me just fix it. All right, so in Aussie, we have large cap miners, BHP and Rio down a little bit, not too bad, about 0.5% down. But we still, all these dual listeds are showing a lot lower on our markets. We've got Billies and Ollies showing, Billies and Anglos showing much lower from London close. Old Mutual almost a rand down from the London close. So, and their futures have opened, so we're down 574 points on the Aussie right now. So expecting much lower prices on especially on our dual listeds. Chart of interest, we've got two charts showing how margin lending has grown at almost the same rate as the Shanghai Composite Index has risen. So that's quite interesting. It's basically just showing that Chinese stocks have been fueled by margin lending, where investors buy using borrowed money. That's always going to be a little bit alarming, but I actually don't know if these are elevated levels or not. So maybe a little more investigation into this before panicking. No corporate action to speak of. This morning we had Tenkan Large MFG Index out of Japan. We had the UK Rightmove House Price Index year on year at 7%. At 3:30 we've got Empire Manufacturing out of the US. 4:15 we have industrial production, and at 11 o'clock net long-term TRC flows. All right, let's have a look at a few charts. All right, so here we have the Aussie. It's just opened. If we zoom in here, we're pretty close to, we're pretty much right at our previous closing low from the middle of October. That sell-off we had, it's quite strange because it felt a lot worse then, a lot more panic. We've had quite a quick sort of almost sneaky sell-off over the last few days or couple of weeks. The intraday low was about 41,200, give or take. So we're about call it 600 points off the intraday low, but right at the closing low. So it'll be interesting to see how we close today. But we're getting pretty oversold here. I think we must be approaching 5% below than the 20-day moving average, which is generally a pretty oversold condition. Also, obviously, getting oversold in the RSI as well. If we have a quick look while we're on the indexes at the German DAX. So we showed this chart last week. I think we're having a look at this reversal that happened over here. Actually, the very next day after we showed it, we had this breaking to new highs again, only just to fail it again. So you can see this. If we go to a 2-year chart, we can see this big broadening formation that's happening here. If we just cut out this little blip at the bottom, we're looking at a range of from about 8,700 to about 10,000 on the top. So a little bit, I don't want to say we're in no man's land at the moment, but a difficulty to enter a position after it's moved back. But we might, if we get a reversal of the 200-day moving average, it might be, it could be interesting. I don't know if we're going to get a Christmas rally. They're leaving it very late if it's going to happen. Um, but I would say our next sort of inflection point will be around this 200-day moving average. Um, and obviously a move, if we can get a move back above 10,000 or a little above there, that would possibly be a breakout to the upside. And this pattern's actually formed over pretty much the whole of 2014. So if we do get a move back above these levels, it could be pretty bullish for the DAX. Okay, the next one on the show was Barloworld. Barloworld has been in a little bit of a short-term head and shoulders here. It's a little bit rough, but let's draw the level at around 98 Rand. That the target was 106 to the upside, which is an $8 downside target, which is exactly at the October low. So that could possibly be a downside target for Barlows. Obviously, also under pressure from the mining sector, so could be an interesting one to watch. Look at Mr. Price. Mr. Price has actually been quite interesting because this one has been bulletproof for so much of, well, pretty much the whole year. It didn't actually sell off as much as the rest of the stocks in October, and had a nice move since then. But now over the last couple of weeks, it's been sneaking downwards. And on Friday, we actually, I think we closed up in the auction, but we forming a little bit of a bear flag or symmetrical triangle here. Keep an eye out for this level. Let's try and zoom in a little bit as well. So yeah, so a bit of a symmetrical triangle, continuation triangle. If we close below the sort of 215 level, maybe a decisive close, maybe around 213, we could see some more downside, possibly to this 200-day moving average. So keep an eye out for that. That could be an interesting move out of Mr. Price. And Steinhoff. Steinhoff's one we've actually been looking for pullback to sort of buy on. We recently, we showed this chart as well, reversed off the test of the June high, and moving lower. So now we're looking for a place to enter ideally. If we draw the trend support coming in around 57, we want a reversal off that preferably. If we can get a nice reversal of 57, it could be a great entry point. Otherwise, we're going to have to start looking at the moving averages. So possibly a reversal of the 50-day moving average will come in a little bit lower at about 55.5, 56, somewhere there. And then the last one I was going to show is Famous Brands. A lot of these other food-related retailers have been in mega uptrends. Recently, Famous Brands broke out of a say 15 Rand range, more or less, maybe as much as 20. We obviously made a new high at 115, and we've now, since on this market pulled back, trading at 110 and testing the breakout point. If we can survive this breakout and reverse back off the 110 level, there could be a nice higher target, as much as 30 Rand possibly to the upsides, which would get us up to around into the 130s, 140 region. And that's all for today, guys. Good luck trading.